11 states, including North Carolina, are currently in a legal battle with the U.S. Department of Justice over so-called bathroom bills, which would require people to use the bathroom corresponding to the sex they were assigned at birth, as opposed to the gender with which they identify. Many claim this is discriminatory towards the trans community. This is me sincerely, not sarcastically, sincerely trying to understand the other side of this issue, because I really do want to understand, but I'm currently at a loss. From where I'm standing, people who support these laws have a gross misunderstanding of the concept of a transgender person, and perhaps more troublingly, have a gross misunderstanding of how public restrooms work. To the first point, on some level, I get it. If you told me even 5 years ago that such and such person has a penis, is that person a man, I would have been pretty confident in saying yes. But now, I would need more information. So I can't really fault people for being a little slow on the uptake for a concept that's so new to the public consciousness. It's understandable, if not forgivable. But that leeway has limits. Once you begin supporting legislation that discriminates against these people, you can no longer plead ignorance. And so when a guy like former ESPN analyst Curt Schilling shares shit like this on his personal Facebook page, it becomes abundantly clear that some people who support these bathroom bills are really leaning on that ignorance. Let's be clear, with the passing of these laws, for the most part, you're not keeping this guy in the men's room. You're sending this woman into the men's room and this guy into the women's room. You're sending this woman into the men's room and this guy into the women's room. Transgender people don't typically look like this. They look like people. In fact, I bet most trans women already use the women's restroom. You just didn't notice. I don't mean to equate gender identity with racial identity, if for no other reason race already has fluidity and nuance to it, while gender is seen as more binary, for better or for worse. But Donald Glover brings up a good point.
I mean, like, let's set the record straight, okay? If you went outside tonight after this show and Barack Obama was stealing your car, you wouldn't yell, "Hey, someone stop that mix guy!" Obama looks black, so people treat him black. It's like, it's never been about who you are as a person, because that's up to you. You got to choose that stuff. It's about how people treat you. That's what race is about.
If a person looks like a dude, sounds like a dude, talks like a dude, walks like a dude, acts like a dude, and is treated by everyone as a dude, that's a dude, regardless of whether or not he has a penis. By the same token, if Laverne Cox looks like a woman and sounds like a woman, walks, talks, acts like a woman, and is treated by everyone as a woman, then she's a woman. And whatever situation she may have in her underpants is really none of my business. And unless you find yourself in an intimate relationship with Laverne Cox, it probably shouldn't concern you either. One thing I've been told in the limited discussions that I've had with people is that if I had a young daughter, I would feel differently. But I'm not sure I would, because the bathroom stall has been a thing for like 400 years. People who are afraid that their daughters will be exposed to something, what do they think they'll be exposed to? Now, I'm talking about public restrooms, not locker rooms, which I admit is more of a nuanced issue. But restrooms? In the men's room, people do their business at urinals and in stalls. You never see anything. And while I personally haven't spent much time in the women's restroom, I imagine it's very similar. Unless they're like constantly having naked pillow fights in there, and that would be the best kept secret in human history. I can't believe I even have to say this, but if a pervy guy goes into a public women's restroom and starts exposing himself to women and girls, that guy will still get arrested. Allowing transgender people to use the public restroom doesn't mean anyone can just go into the women's room and start helicoptering. It means transgender people have the right to use a stall. Your daughter probably won't even realize there's a trans woman in the bathroom with her. By the way, there's a chance it's already happened. People are acting like allowing trans women into the women's restroom will suddenly result in rampant rape and molestation. To those people, I think you're assigning too much power to the bathroom door. I can't imagine a rapist is going to go up to a public restroom and be like, "Oh man, I can't wait to get in there and rape. Oh no, it says women only? Ah, shucks, I guess I can't go rape in there." Rapists, by definition, are really bad at respecting boundaries. And yet we think a stick figure in a dress is going to be a better rape deterrent than, a woman saying no? And this isn't just conjecture. According to a coalition that assists sexual assault survivors, in the 200 municipalities in 18 states that allow transgender people to use public restrooms, none have seen a rise in sexual violence or other public safety issues resulting from the non-discrimination laws. And according to research by CBS News affiliate in Minnesota, there's been one case ever of someone posing as a transgender person so that they can commit a bathroom assault. That was in 2014 in Canada, and it turns out the culprit was mentally ill. Millions of public restrooms, if not tens of millions. In the United States, there's never been a single case of someone pretending to be transgender so they can enter the wrong bathroom and commit assault. Setting all that aside, how the hell do you enforce a law like this? As I've said, actual transgender people are pretty inconspicuous, to the point where you probably don't even realize that they're transgender, which presents a problem. Say, for example, you're a man in a public restroom in North Carolina, and you suspect that a trans man may illegally be in the bathroom with you. How is that situation going to be resolved? Is that person going to have to prove to the cops or to a Target employee that they do indeed have a penis? God help you if you're vaguely androgynous looking, because you're going to be constantly pulling down your underwear to prove to people that you belong in the bathroom that you're in. So yeah, from where I'm standing, transgender people, go ahead and do your thing. Just please wash your hands. Don't be gross.